This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Hey there folks, and welcome you all to this special vlog of mine this week. We did it, people. We reached 1,000 subs. Woohoo! In fact, we did it twice. Last night when we were live streaming, we did 2 live streams last night. We did one live stream of Monster Hunter Beta, Monster Hunter World Beta. We did that for about an hour, and while we were doing that, we got to 1,000, and then I was only trying it out for about an hour, and there was a plan in place to do a second stream. At that point, I hadn't decided between Fallout and Bloodborne, and I let everyone watching decide, and they decided on Bloodborne. So when I moved over to Bloodborne, we dropped to 998, and it's possibly because I upset a couple of people by not carrying on with Monster Hunter, but I really wasn't feeling the vibe for Monster Hunter at all. It's just a personal thing. But it was like, that was enough. I was a bit bored with it. And so we moved back over to Bloodborne and had a riot over there. And while we were doing Bloodborne, we went from 998 back to 1001. And there we remain to where we are now, 6 o'clock Saturday, this very evening. And we're still there. I could not be more delighted. And I want to thank everybody for subbing who subbed right at the very beginning and those who have just subbed right at the very end. And you can honestly, like, I know I'm repeating myself to a lot of the people that have been with me a long time, but I can't tell you how humbled I am and how happy it makes me that people want to join in with my channel and with what I'm doing. It really is just a bit of a blessing, really. I mean, I never anticipated getting anywhere near this kind of figure, and we were already aiming for the 1,000. I think about New Year's Day when we made that massive leap from the 800s somewhere right up into the high 900s. So well before YouTube went and changed all their rules and it needed to be 1,000 before you could monetize and have all those tools. We were already, on with that. So it wasn't anything to do with that as such. It was just reaching the milestone as a channel, really, more than anything else for me. Because as I've always said, even if I'd never got to it, I mean, it doesn't matter to me so far as it goes that I'm happy doing the channel. I never did it for money anyway. So, if anyone's watched the vlog that I've just done with regards to the YouTube changes, which means that people with less than 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of views in a year won't be able to use the monetized features. It's not just about getting monetized, it's the monetized features. And I think part of the monetized features is being able to design your own little tabs and everything, because I have this recollection of having to monetize my channel really early on and then unmonetize it again just to activate those little tabs, and then they seem to stay. So I'm not sure if little things like that get lost as well with the tools. Anyway, I'm hoping we won't have to find out now. But now that we're there, of course, we're not going to stop. We want to go onward and upward and have even more awesome people just like yourself joining in with us. Now, I've said this to quite a number of people that have left comments saying, well done, Steve, amazing job, and I love all of those comments, and thank you so much for the people that are giving me a lot of praise for the channel and the work that I've put in, and I really appreciate it, and it fills my heart with a lot of joy, that people see and react to that sort of work that I'm putting in. But never forget, people, that part of the reason that people stay around my channel anyway is because there's a great community there. There's a load of people that all speak to each other, that share advice and opinions on the games that are being played, and I think that in itself is a bit of a plus for people when they think about pressing the subscribe button. Without any doubt, I think it helps that they've had interaction with the people in the chat while I've been doing a stream, or in the comments when people reply to them. And there's some really awesome people in there that will give advice on games or share comments on games. And you guys have helped with this as much as I've put the work in. Because the amount of people that have stuck with me from the beginning, the amount of people that interact with me when I'm gaming on a live stream or afterwards, or giving me advice and tips on games, especially in games like Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Dragon's Dogma, all of these people that gave me, because I'd never have got as far in those games without the advice that people gave me, or understood them as well as I do. Without any doubt, I would never have got this far in Dark Souls, and possibly even Bloodborne. I might have struggled through on Bloodborne, but certainly Dark Souls, I would have really struggled to get to the points I'm at without more heartache than I've had, and there's been a lot of heartache. So, I mean, even the last campfire that I found, I would never have found that in a million years. You know what I mean? It's like, There's a campfire that you've got to drop off a ledge onto a tiny little balcony it's on, and that's while something's throwing massive flaming balls of fire at you. It's not a compulsory sort of area you need to drop into either. So it's little things like that people point out, and general guidance on trying to get through these swinging axes and all. Anyway, all these sorts of things. It's all the advice and guidance. I mean, I've loved these live streams as much as everybody else has, and even when I switched over to Fallout 4, there was a great chat and communication going on there. So it really hasn't mattered which game I've switched to as to how many people have come in. Without any doubt, my channel, I think, is always going to get the biggest reaction when I play RPGs. I understand that, and nobody understands it more than I do, because every time I've switched to something else, the amount of people viewing is by far less than the amount of people that will view an RPG. The minute I do Bloodborne or Fallout or Dark Souls or, you know, any RPG, effectively, I will get a lot of people, well, in my world, a lot of people sitting watching, maybe up to 20 or so people at one time, which is a lot for me. I think last night actually went over that. So when you shift to something like Evil Within or, well, Dead Space I haven't tried live yet. But anyway, when I go to linear type games like that, I usually get a bit of a drop, and that's not a fault of anyone. It's just that the people that follow my channel obviously see me as an RPG player, and I am. That's predominantly what I am. But every now and then, I do like a linear experience. As I say, Dead Space is one and two are one of my two of my favourite games of all time. And so I'm really keen. I've just started a Dead Space playthrough. I've done one off, not live, but I've done one and posted that up. So I am planning on doing more of that. I'd like to do that as a bit of a live stream. But I'd like to do them so that they're not in place of the RPG stuff, so that people know they're still going to get the RPG stuff, and I'll do that as an extra. So I am hoping to keep the channel mixed up a bit. And again, you know, if I was doing this as a full-time job, then I would be able to bring you lots of content over many games, because I'd be able to pre-record a lot of stuff and do live streams at night. At the moment, I mean, for the last 2-3 weeks, I've been streaming every night of the week, pretty much. And, you know, and I've loved every minute of it, but it doesn't leave much time for anything else. So any pre-recordings that I was doing, I think that one episode of Dead Space is the only thing I've managed to pre-record. Everything else has been a live stream. So, you know, had I been doing this full time, or if I take my weekends to do pre-recordings, which then leaves no time, because, you know, life is there as well, people. You know, I have to go and do the shopping, I have to take care of the house, I have to go out and do errands, and, you know, I have to do things like everyone else. And so, you know, it's the amount of hours in a day most of the time as to just what I can put on the channel. You know, you watch a lot of big channels, these guys have got all day to do, you know, if they're doing it full time, they've got all day to do what they need to do. So they can do a live stream at night and pre-record during the day, and, you know, all of these sorts of things. So, you know, you never know, people. If there's another 20,000 people as awesome as you guys, and they all sub up and start watching my videos, then maybe I'll be in a position to bring you more. So, you know, it's not too pie in the sky. Now that I've reached 1,000, I believe that, you know, sky's the limit, really. But absolutely, I need to continue to bring the people that subbed the content that they wanted to see. I know that I've lost subs because I didn't do any more Pillars of Eternity, for example. Without any doubt, I saw comments there from people that said I subbed up because of Pillars and I want to see more, and I didn't do any. And I kept promising I would, but it was just, and I had every intention of. It's just the time, I just didn't have it. So there you are. So I'm absolutely delighted, and I can't thank everybody enough. I really am just really humbled by it. And I started this channel simply to share my love of gaming with everyone and find a community of people that I could interact with. And obviously, to do what I do, you kind of have to like the sound of your own voice to some extent, you know. So it gives me an outlet to chat away with new friends that that are subbing up and chatting to me on a regular basis. And it's been an absolute joy doing it for the years that I've done it. And now that I've thrown myself into it a bit heavier, it's just been even more joyful. So I'm really, really, really chuffed, people. I can't tell you how happy I am. It's really, really warmed me right up. So it has. And especially after the horrible year I had last year, you know, and anyone that's been following the vlogs knows the losses I had last year and stuff. So to start 2018 with a massive boost like this is just absolutely fantastic. So thank you to everybody. And if anyone ever stumbles across this video that isn't subbed up, do take a look around the channel, and if you like what you're doing and like what you're seeing, then come and join in and have a bit of fun with us while we're streaming and watch the videos and sub up. And if you don't like what you're seeing, then don't. It's how it works, people. So I say that every time I talk about subbing. There you are. And here's the thing: in the time that I've been doing we're going off topic now. I've said my thank yous. I tell you this: there's only one way to celebrate hitting the 1,000 subs mark, and it is with a flagon, my friends. A flagon. Flagons for everyone. So cheers to you all. You're absolutely amazing. I'm going to carry on talking. I'm going to have a sip of this first, though. Cheers, everybody. If you were all here, I would give you a can, half a can each. It's quite expensive stuff. A whole can would be a bit extreme, people. Not I'm tight or anything. So yeah, actually going back to Dark Souls, in the midst of playing Dark Souls and sort of really enjoying getting right into it, they've announced, of course, that Dark Souls Remastered is coming. So all of that pain that I've been going through, I have an excuse to do it again. So I think they've also announced a collection of the Dark Souls Remaster and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 and I think maybe Bloodborne as well. But of course, by the time that it comes out, we might have heard about Bloodborne 2. So it does. I mean, by all accounts, the remaster's got all the online features that the new games have got as well. So that's a big bonus. You'll be able to bring people into your game and help you with boss fights and stuff like that. So that makes it slightly easier. At the moment, it's only certain places of NPCs you can call on. But to some extent, it's worth it's worth trying the challenge of the boss fights on your own. But effectively, you can just bring a mate into your game and you can try and run through it together. Or bring someone into your playthrough that knows what the hell they're doing, like Yoda Jason, and let them show you where to go. But because the game is too easily dumped. Like the amount of people that mustn't have finished that game must be much higher than the people that have finished it. So I am looking forward to it coming out on remaster. Whether I play it on the channel or not, we'll have to wait and see if you guys want to see it all over again. I mean, I suppose we could play through it in a different class, and we would at least know where we're going this time to some degree and know what to expect. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's something we want to do that soon, certainly, because we've still got to finish that. We've still got to finish Bloodborne. Then we've got Dark Souls 2 sat there on the PS4 to play, and we've got Dark Souls 3 sat there on the PS4 to play. Did I say PS2 there? On the PS4s. And we've also got Nioh sat there waiting to play as well, of the same sort of ilk. So, there's plenty of that sort of stuff to play. So we might save the remaster. I might do a couple of parts on it just to show people how it looks. But other than that, it might be worth keeping it for further down the road once we've done the others. So I think outside of all of that, I think that the fact that the channel's done so well is kind of it kind of warms my heart a little bit. I saw a comment recently. I can't remember if I mentioned this on the vlog, but I saw a comment on Twitter from some guy who seemed to have loads of followers in. He must have been American. I didn't know who he was. There was some side comment about if you're playing games, you better be making a living out of it. Basically pointing to the fact that if you are a grown-up person and playing games, there's something wrong with you. Like you should be doing something else. And it really hit a nerve with me. And I left a comment not on his statement, but on someone's reply who had replied saying, what's the problem, effectively. Because I felt like replying to him was just, giving someone attention they were clearly looking for, or just didn't understand. I wasn't horrible about it. I just sort of said, I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy, but clearly has no understanding of what the gaming industry is or what games are now. But I think the fact that the channel's done so well kind of fills me with a bit of happiness, because I was never sure whether people would want to spend time watching and joining in with someone who wasn't a young person. And I'm not an old person. I know that. But YouTube and Twitch and everywhere else, it's full of, really hot girls and hot guys and young hot girls and guys all doing their thing. And I see the appeal. I see the appeal of watching someone good looking and cute and nice playing a game, and especially when there's a sense of humour and something to interact with there as well. And I get it. I do. It's nature, folks. There's nothing you can do about that. But And you wouldn't want to do anything about it. It's fine. You know, they're great at what they do and they get on with it. But that, you know, there's a lot of subs that come with just being pretty hot. You know what I mean? Like, but by the same token, if you are humorous, or if you've got charisma, or if you've got a friendlinality, is that a word? Friendly personality, friendlinality. You know, if you've got something about you, I was always hopeful that people would join in and interact and come on this little journey with me as a not young guy. You know, like, I was never sure if it's what people wanted. So it's frankly awesome to me that an old guy like me, an old guy like me, can have all of you fine people wanting to spend time with them and the game. And I'm sure, I mean, I know for a fact from the comments and things that people are leaving comment-wise, that I have a lot of people from a whole different age spectrum, and I love that. You know, I never wanted for everybody to be my age or everybody to be younger. Or I really like the fact that it's a really eclectic group of people that are following the channel, subbing up and coming back time after time to join in with the chat and everything. That's what fills my heart with the most joy, because I always hated living in a world where young people have to sit at that table, middle-aged people sit at that table, and old people sit at that table. That's not a world I want to live in. Like, I want to live in a world where everybody sits at the same table and everybody, you know, what do you learn or gain from sitting with your own group? Like, nothing. Like, unless you're sitting with people that may have a differing perspective than you, you're never going to learn or grow. So there is no point in, well, you know, but it'll be a slower growth, but you'll still, you know, but you know what I'm getting at. Like, you need to mix with a whole variety of people. And it's not just about age, you know, it's about background, it's about race, it's about colour. Like, everybody should be sharing experience, like, at the same table, not at separate tables or scattered around all over the place. And that's what fills my heart with the most joy, you know, especially in this kind of world we're living in now, where the whole world seems to have gone very divisive. Like, you know, this is our country, this is our land, this is our, you know. So it's really heartwarming to know that it's that eclectic a group that I've got on the channel. And I couldn't be more proud of that, really. And it's kind of, it's not something I aimed for, really, but it's something I hoped for. On top of the fact I hoped for more than 2 or 3 people to sub. I kind of hoped, you know, maybe 10, 20. And here we are at 1,000 of an eclectic group of, you know, all sorts. So I'm mega chuffed, people. I really am. And, you know, I know this vlog's been a little bit of a ramble, bouncing a little bit all over the place. But the whole point of the vlog really was to say thank you for the 1,000 subs and to just chat about the journey getting there, really. So it's kind of a bit, I didn't really have a, you know, I had a couple of notes just to talk about, you know, Dark Souls Remaster and what have you. But Monster Hunter, by the way, was, which was a note there that I nearly forgot about. I mentioned it earlier on, but yeah, I didn't click with it at all. And I had the same experience when I tried the beta out the first time, although I did it off camera. I just wasn't clicking with it at all. And I realise it's just me. It's just not my type of game. I can't be doing, with walking around with not much to do, picking up herbs, following flies through a beautiful world, to be fair to it, and then finding a monster, hitting it to a point where it runs off to its cave, then hitting it again, then hitting it again. And I couldn't even lock onto the damn thing properly to fight it. I just found the whole mechanic a bit all over the shop, to be honest with you. But it was a good-looking game, and it had a quirk to it. It looked gorgeous, but it just didn't have any vibe for me personally. Like, I didn't feel anything for it at all. You know, I was just running around an area. There was no buzz to the fight. There was no music that made me feel good. There was no... you know, but this is just me, you know, and I knew this going into trying Monster Hunter because I'd already played it on the Vita, the PSP version on the Vita, and I didn't get into that either. So it really is probably me, and it's not the game. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But the reason I only did about 3/4 of an hour to an hour on it live stream last night was basically for that reason. I wasn't enjoying myself. And I won't do a stream unless I'm playing something that I say enjoying. Like, even though I'm cursing and swearing and shouting when I'm playing Bloodborne and Dark Souls, I'm still enjoying it. All right? I might not sound like it, but I am, people. I am. So there you are. I think that was it, people. I didn't really have much else to talk about other than well, I didn't need much else to talk about because 1,000 subs is monumentally huge, people, and I could not be happier. And thank you to you all. I couldn't be, as I say, I couldn't be more humbled, couldn't be more proud. We're going to continue to go on as far as we can with the channel. I'll continue to try and bring you everything that you want to see, along with things that I enjoy playing, and hope that we can continue to grow and do much more together, people. It has been, as always, an honour and a privilege serving for you all the way up to 1,000 subs and beyond, and doing this vlog for you, and I will see you all soon. Take it easy, folks. Bye.